What it do, Kripple Krew? This is EDC with DBD, Disabled but Deadly, and welcome to a special South African edition of Stabby AF Saturdays with special guest, my friend Johan Jordaan, coming back to the channel for the first time in 2026. What's up,
Hi,
Johan?
everyone.
Welcome.
Nice to be back on the show.
Yeah, it's been a while. Glad to have you here, homie.
No, everything is going well. Been busy.
Yeah, it looks like
No,
you
thank
have.
Yeah, been busy. Been
That's what I was gonna say. It looks like since each one of these visits, um, I always talk to the crew about how busy you've been, and then each time I see you, I'm pulling up all these new designs to show off. Yeah, you've definitely been, I'd have to say, one of the more prolific designers of the last 2 years, and I've really been impressed, my friend.
No, thank you so much. Yeah, I've been trying, and it's been things are speeding up nicely. It's getting the name out, and more designs coming. There's quite a few that should drop still this year, but yeah, no, it's been going good, and really enjoying the support I've been getting from the community. A lot of positive comments, and I take to heart what people say. Listen on something if it's a design they don't like, I look at what I can improve. So, no, it's been a good time.
That is awesome, my friend. Well, we're going to say hello to the chat real quick. I know that the first 5 in the chat were big homie Henry G, and then we had Brown Fog, Marco, my brother Tristan, member Cripple Crew Inc., and then Mick Ranger is the first one it's showing me on my screen today because y'all know it resets it. Member of Cripple Crew Inc., what it do? Throat Go popping in right after him. Before we got started, my brother Neil Mudd, member of Cripple Crew Inc., also early. What's up, FZ Toy? Popping in. Robert Willoughby, what it do, brother? Beekeeper, what's up? My brother from a Dutch mother, Baz Beast, member of Cripple Crew Inc., checking in from Netherlands. Big homie Tristan dropping them badass emojis, getting us started. Kelly, what it do, sis? And Trouble Bunny, good morning. David Judici, what it do, homie? Kane Miranda, member of Cripple Crew Inc. Lone Star Dow Boy, what's up? Clint Crosby. Thomas, good morning. Blessed EDC, member of Cripple Crew Inc., dropping them badass emojis. We got Clint Crosby. I think I said that already, but if not, what it do? Scrolling, getting caught up here. Great Southern Treadkill, good morning. Matt Conklin, member of Cripple Crew Inc., what it do, homie? And just so y'all know, we are having a double giveaway today. Later on in the stream, we are going to be giving away this aluminum and Nitro V version of Big Homie Johan's Tenable Heron. And we also will be having a Cripple Crew Inc. members only giveaway, giving away the Tenable Tipper. Now, the entry videos for both are in the pinned comment. And if you're not a member of Cripple Crew Inc. yet, you've got time to grab a membership. All right, that's enough of the intros and the hellos. I want to talk to my friend Johan. Good to see you, Roger. By the way, folks, if I don't click on all your comments, it's because we're chatting. And if you have any questions or comments for Big Homie Johan, drop them in the chat. And you can, if I miss them, go ahead and repeat them. Ginger77, Baz Beast really likes the Komodo from Geo Knife. And you have one of those with you, don't you, my friend? The Geo Knife Komodo?
Yeah, Ooh. I've got the copper Damascus one. Sorry, the light. This is the tie with the copper Damascus they brought out. Difficult knife to photograph because it's a very nicely polished blade. They did an excellent job on it. So I believe these came in 4 colors, but I think 3 days ago on the 15th, there was a version of M390 and G10 that was also launched. So it should be available on their website, I think.
Nice. We will take a look at that because, folks, we are going to be taking a look at the manufacturer website showing so many of the designs he's got going here in a bit. Old school rocker, member Kripple Queen. Good to see you, Mama Loot. But yeah, that Komodo, that copper Mascus blade does look beautiful. They did a wonderful job on it. And one thing that I have to say is that one running on washers?
I was like very. Yes, it's on washers. It seems that's what they do.
Yes.
Style. I think they've got maybe a few on bearings, but these are all washers.
Good.
Bit tight when it got, but it actually breaks in very nicely if you play with it. It reminds me a lot of what Benchmade used to be, kind of the actions, not the stuff they do now. So I've been enjoying it, playing with it mostly. I don't use it a lot because the copper, I like the blade, so I want to try and keep it as nice as possible.
Yeah, I have to agree. I really like their crossbar with washer action. This is my my friend Fabster runs Geonoxus. And this has broken in
a bit as well
to have the best crossbar action that I have felt. Their action is phenomenal because they know how to properly engineer the tang to give you a real detent.
Yes.
And with those washers,
really nice,
they break in.
They only do the access lock.
Pardon that? What'd you say, homie?
No, I say they only do the access lock, but what I like is because they only do that, they know how to do it properly. You know, it's they stick with what they know, and they have to say they nailed the access lock.
Yeah, it has this one I know feels great. So I'm really looking forward to getting myself a Komodo so I can feel the action on that too. Plus, I love that blade shape. What's up, Sheila? Member Kripple Queen, good to see you. Yeah, folks, I do want to share his most recent design real quick. One that sold out damn near instantly. I'm going to put it up on screen. The warning that y'all have seen is one of his designs with Kaiser. This is his newest one. And look at that sexy top liner lock. S45VN. I love that blade. That looks so good. And the way those micarta inlays are done looks beautiful as well. This is a phenomenal design, homie.
No, thank you. I'm still waiting on my samples from Kaiser. I'm sure it would have been shipped, but it takes about almost 2 months for something at the earliest to arrive here in South Africa. So I've got the prototypes. The blade shape is awesome. There was actually 2 versions. There was an access lock version as well, but I've asked him to hold off on that a bit. Seems people are over access lock a bit. I still think
there is definitely some crossbar fatigue.
Yeah, I think people always looking for that something new. But if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So I still think it's got its space. But we'll see. Yeah. So the warning sold out, button lock, and I believe there's a White Mountain Knives exclusive dropping in June. That's got a full titanium handle, texture titanium, and an Elmax blade.
Oh.
And it should
I'm gonna have to look at that. Yeah, people are loving that that design. Yeah, that one is that I definitely want to get it. I'm glad that you had them stick with the top liner lock for now, because people really are loving the top liner lock action. And I think why so many people ended up getting kind of crossbar fatigue is because we got a lot of them for a while that did not have great action. They didn't have a snappy detent like this. They didn't have you could shake them out very easily. People were using just this spring, the Omega spring tension, pretty much as your whole detent. Whereas now they're learning how to notch the tang better to give you that pressure, that detent that you want. And I think if people they got tired of them, gave some of the newer crossbar locks a chance, they would like them again.
No, definitely. They'll be popular again. It comes around. It's like at one stage people all over the line a lock, and now they're back to it again. So it will just change again. Something will happen.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. You know, folks, I remember when the pickled steel warhog was this is Johan's first collaboration that came out.
Yes.
And we talked to him right before the Krew dropped. And then, of course, after. But right before the Krew dropped. And at that time, I think you had 5 or 6 coming out.
Yeah.
And that was a while ago. I want to ask, what do you have working? How many do you have in the hopper right now? If you had to guess.
Close to 20, I think, that still needs to drop. But I've got current contracts for that will drop over a while. But it might be still a year, might be a year and a half before you'll see some of those. It does take time because I've got quite a lot with guys that I think I'm up to 20 almost of them. So they have to place an order. They can't just drop everything at once. So
sure.
Yeah, no, lots coming. I'm still designing, still sending out almost every week a design to someone. Always trying to approach new companies as well, and evolving the style. At the moment, I'm very into a tactical thing, but I'm trying different stuff. I've designed actually a very short tactical, like a Tomahawk X, but more hiking. So only 250 millimeters overall. So what's that? Like 12 inches or so, just over that, and it's still got 100, like a almost 4-inch cutting length on it. So that's quite a cool thing. I want to send out and see if someone will bite on something a bit different, a bit weirder.
That'd be cool. I do want to say, Jim Miller, thank you, my brother, for the $10 super chat. He says gonna need shipping money for the giveaway. Truly appreciate you, brother. Thank you, Jim. Jim is a member of Kripple Krew Inc. And we're gonna give him a Warhog acoustic salute by the mic. Thank you, Jim. I really appreciate you, brother. That does absolutely help a lot. Don't forget, folks, make sure that you've entered the giveaways and make sure you drop your questions for Big Homie Johan. Tristan says he was looking at the warning the other day. He loves it, and he didn't even know it was your design. Now he wants it even more. So I'm going to, and Jim Miller thinks that that's your best design so far. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Well, I always am, so I don't know why I led it that way. But when we jumped on this stream a moment ago, or before the live, I was talking to Johan, and I told him that I had a whole bunch of tabs pulled up ready to show you guys some of his designs. And when I have his Kaiser tab pulled up right now, the main tab didn't have the warning on it. And so I didn't even see it. And somehow I didn't see his logo on the blade. The couple of times I've seen the knife, I haven't handled it yet, but I didn't know that was his design either. And now I want it even more too.
You'll have to wait. I think the first run sold in like an hour or something, I was told. It was sold out, and then I think almost all the dealers in America is also out of stock. But they are working on the next batch already.
Yeah, I did see that they went quickly. Sheila says the Warhog will stay in her collection forever. Kurt White, Robert Jones, what's up? Rachel Jordan, member Kripple Krew Inc. with them badass emojis. Good to see you, sis. Yeah, the Warhog is one that I wish people still had access to.
Yeah, unfortunately, there was only that run made, and I don't think we'll see them again.
I don't think so either. It's such a great knife, though, that I know this one will be in my collection forever.
Well, let's just say never. The design is still mine, so I'm looking at launching one or two models under my own name in it. You never know, might be a fancy Warhawk or something coming out down the line.
I was going to say, people still want the premium Warhog. People still talk about wanting a premium Warhog.
Now, that's also one I would like to see, but I would like to change it now, to the top liner lock or something like that.
That's what I was going to say. A top liner premium Warhog would be so sick.
No, that's something I would also like to see. So you never know.
That's awesome. Well, welcome back, Jim, and thank you again. Doobie and Dog One, member Kripple Krew Inc. Good to see you, gentlemen. Yeah, Sheila's like, that would be awesome. Top liner, Warhog. Yay.
A nice fancy steel like a Vanax or something. There we go.
So I know we have the Clio from Artisan, named for your missus, and I know we have the Dio from Kubi, named for one of your boys. Do we have any others with family names?
Well, the Kaiser parakeet that came out, was originally called the AJ. That was for my other son. And then they said to me, look, they like it and everything, but would I mind changing the name? They just feel it would sell better and they could do more variants and stuff. And I said, you know what, it's just a name, so let's go with it. So I'll definitely have to bring something out with my other boy's name still. But there's no other family member knife, my name knives now.
Gotcha. Yeah, the parakeet's such a dope design that they did that very well. That was, if that wasn't their first, that was in their first 2 or 3 top liners.
I think that was the second one. After, was it the Prowler or Growler or something was before that, and then they did that one, and now they've changed where if I have to design for them now, it's like a half moon opening. They still had the round button to push the liner in, but now all Kaisers have that half moon button.
Yeah, now that I think of it, I think the Dogfish was the first one.
It could be something like that, yeah. I can't remember the names proper, but might be it was second or third or something down that line.
Yeah, but I remember being surprised, and they were initially listing it as just a button lock, and I remember trying to convince people in the beginning, no, it's not just a button lock.
Yeah, I think when they made the transition, they didn't, but they've changed that now and corrected it. So yeah, I think it's all now. People at least know now. I don't think you'll see a lot of button locks in normal plunge button locks anymore. It's just something that seems to have faded away.
Yeah, I think, I mean, we are seeing fewer of them for sure. And they're going to be mostly replaced by top liners or a button liner lock or some type of other. But I will say one that came out just this week that is a plunge lock that I really enjoy is the Wixco Jugger. This bad boy,
really nice.
This is like over 8.5 inches, and the plunge lock detent is the best I have felt because they did the same thing, improving the geometry on the tang for the plunge. And then the way that they did the plunge and the way the stop pin goes way under the tang of the blade makes it freaking rock solid. So, if companies do drop plunge locks, they need to be done like this. But you're right. We're going to see fewer and fewer of them.
Yeah, I predict. Look, they'll come around. I think people finally worked out how to do the geometry correctly. In the beginning, there were issues because you've got a tapered section on that plunge, which if your blade tang isn't machined correctly or the cutter wears or something, the way it was originally designed, it wouldn't lock up perfect. It's just how the design was. So it would break easily open. Your lock would disengage. But they have figured that out now. So I think what companies might do is, lay off it for a while, and then once everybody's almost got forgotten about the bad plunge locks again, then we'll see them again.
Yeah. Yeah, and definitely figuring out the geometry on the tang made such a massive difference, and you're less reliant on just that spring tension to hold the blade in the closed position.
Yeah.
Blind Woo, member of Kripple Krew Inc. What's up? Good to see you, homie. The White Mountain Knives version is also sold out. Oh, it might show sold out, but
it's not dropped yet.
It doesn't drop yet. Yeah, it hasn't dropped yet. Rick's Knives, member of Kripple Krew Inc. Good to see you, brother. So, your personal collection, what was it? First off, what was in your pockets today? What were you carrying?
I find myself a lot with the Kaiser allure lately. I just love it as a all-rounder. It looks stylish and nice, and it's got a sleek look to it, but the blade works for me so good in what I like to do with a knife. So this one is a lot in my pocket. Otherwise, the Warning prototype, and I still carry the Tenable Heron a lot, especially the G10 version, one that I don't mind beating on a bit more. Take along fishing. Don't worry if there's salt water come on the blade. I'll clean it later with like a marine polish or something. But this knife has actually seen a lot of action, and it's actually cut up some fish and whatever you want to do on a fishing holiday with me. Only this knife and a fixed blade, but I mean a normal cheap fixed blade for removing scales and stuff. And didn't fail me once, worked perfectly, had to sharpen it once. But this thing also finds my way in the pocket. But today was the allure for today's carry.
Yeah, the Heron, I like I said earlier before we went live, this is such a great EDC knife because this reminds me so much of a compact Spyderco Para 3, because you have the same grip area to the choil, and it's actually a little bit more open, so you have more room for your hand than you do on the Para 3. You have almost the same amount of sharpen length, but in a more compact and sleek package without the big hump that a lot of people don't like. It makes it a lot more, it's a smaller package in pocket, but you still get that grip area and usable blade. And then this leaf shape is just so useful for all types of situations. Were you inspired by the Para 3 on this one at all?
Yes, most definitely. I mean, I think the first proper knife I bought myself was a ZT 350, and then it was the PM2, and that opened my eyes to what Spyderco does and what they do correct. I mean, the ergos and the way the blade is so useful. So it's proper. They focus on a using knife, and then a lot of inspiration was from the Manix 2, actually. I love the Manix 2 from Spyderco. I think it's a fantastic knife. Obviously, this doesn't look the same, but I was going for the sort of same idea, leaf-shaped blade, access lock with their ball lock thing. So the handle is different. I wanted a more neutral handle that doesn't force your hand into any specific way, kind of almost where the Spyderco wants to force your index finger in a specific position. The Heron, I just wanted you to grab it like you wanted. So it was I would almost see it as a Manix 2 with a simpler handle that still gives you great elbows.
I get it. I see it. It makes sense. The reason I immediately thought Para 3 was because of that grip area and blade size. But
Yes.
no, I do see where you got that inspiration from the Manix as well. And that neutral handle really does allow for so many comfortable ways to grip the knife.
No, definitely. Look, I've got smaller hands, so I'm like a size small glove and stuff. So for me, sometimes a knife would feel good, but for other people it will feel bad. Or where I would grab something like a Manix XL, and I didn't like it at all. Or I'll probably be shot for saying this. Like I love the Chris Reeve Sabenza and Nkosi, but I hate the Zaan because it doesn't feel correct in my hand. I can't get a grip on it that I really like. So I've been going more in my designs for a lot more neutral grips. Still has a style, a look to it, but more neutral where it doesn't matter your hand size. You can grab it and you'll find a position that works for you.
Yeah, and I wear an extra large size glove. I have room behind the pivot because of that neutral handle, and I can easily choke up. I can spread out my hand very comfortably and choke up on there if I want. It's a fantastic blade shape for a utility or pinch grip for sure. Very, very controllable.
Yeah, I like it, and I also like a bit of belly. I like to do so. Yeah, this is for me still one of the best users I've designed. Like pure user, rough and tumble. Looks fairly good, but made for using.
Yeah, and this one, the one that's staying here at the house, the G10 with that gun stock grip, Mrs. Deadly claimed this one when it got here because this feels good in both her hand and my hand. So I honestly, I didn't think I was going to be as big of a fan of it as I am. Not because of the looks. I mean, it looks nice to me, but when I saw the dimensions, I typically like at least a 4.5 inch handle. When I saw the dimensions, I was like, it's going to be too small for me, but I can review it as a great knife for ladies or people with small hands. And I had Mrs. Deadly hold it. She loved it. This one's hers. But then I held it and I started using it. And I realized that it really does fit a lot of different people. That's why I'm excited to give this one away. Tree 04 says, loves your design language, bro.
Someone is lucky.
Tristan, everybody's saying they really like the looks of the Heron. Yeah, Sheila, this is one that I think would fit. I mean, like I'm saying, it fits Mrs. Deadly's hands very well. She wears a small to medium women's glove, normally a medium. Yeah, Doobie, if you ever find a way to get one, if anybody's willing to trade one or something like that, I would recommend getting that Warhog. Faux show. I did see your stacked pockets, David Giudici. Nice pockets with the ZT and the DVD edition. Yeah. As we were talking about earlier, you and I, since we've last seen each other, my first collaboration has come out with Monster, the Glideman DVD edition. And even though it's not my original design, they executed all of the changes that I thought this knife needed to feel perfect in hand. And it was definitely very exciting having my first collaboration drop.
It's always exciting. First, 50th, it doesn't matter. It's still excited when you get that email say, yes, it's going to happen. And we thought what your input and stuff. So No, congrats on that. I've been looking at that knife. It's a very nice looking knife. I haven't played with a Feather Monster yet. I don't think you get them in SA easily, so I'll have to import one if I want one. But I have to say, their work looks excellent from what I've seen with reviews and looking at pictures and stuff.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I am so thrilled that that they came out as well as they did, and I love that these folks like carrying it so much. It is so cool seeing my collab in their pictures. It's a dope feeling, and man, you've got so many of them out there now. That's got to feel cool seeing your name on so many different brands show up in people's real
still
carry.
Feels unreal. No, definitely. When in the beginning it was kind of slow, and now it grows and it grows. But you still get just excited for your first or your second. It doesn't matter. Still gives me a kick when I see known reviewers liking knives, giving input on their stuff. I actually I watch most of their videos, but you won't see me on YouTube. I go by a different name there. I like to hide in the shadows and just observe. But I take the comments that people give negative, positive into consideration in future designs as well. So no, it still gives me a great kick, and I still try and listen to the community as well. Say what I say, see where I can improve. But yeah, the feeling is unreal. It still doesn't feel real some days, where basically from nothing it just happened.
That's so awesome. Before we talk a little bit about that history, about how that happened, just in case some of the folks in here don't know, I am going to let the dog out in real quick. I will be right back. I'm going to let you have the screen if you would like to share a couple of your designs with the crew. I'll be right back.
Okay. Well, I think I've shown mostly what I have with me.
Stop. Girl. I can trim them tomorrow, okay? I will cut them tomorrow, baby girl.
I often put it in a plastic bag while baking. So if something falls in the water or something, it's a bit dirty. Still one of my favorites. You can see it's definitely dirty. It needs some metal polish to clean that up. Awesome little knife. Still hoping, crossing fingers, there might be an XL version with like a 3.4-inch blade, which would be really nice. Still bolster lock. I think there's a few more bolster locks coming out with Kaiser as well. Not exactly sure. Then all I've seen with Krew from Artisan, there is a second knife of them coming as well. I can tell it's an access lock. Can't tell much more than that. Bigger than the Krew. A middle class one. Not sure when it's coming out. The proto should have been completed, but there was some. I'm not sure if I wanted to change something, but that's coming soon. And then the Kaisers are going crazy. I've got so many prototypes. I wish there's actually quite a few fixed blades coming out, because fixed blades is how I started. I still grind the fixed blade now and then when I'm bored in the workshop. So yeah, excited for a lot of the fixed blades coming out. That's more where I came from, and then evolved into the folders.
That's awesome. I was just going to mention that before great design language, keep it up and bring on those bigger blades. Haha, you did not miss the giveaway yet, William. We will be doing that in a while. Good to see you, Be Shady. Will you talk a little bit about how you got into designing folding knives? Because I know what people might not know is you're not just a knife designer, you're a custom knife maker as well.
Yes. Well, I actually work at the university, what they call a video technician there. So I work in the media department with the students, with camera work, video editing and stuff. I used to lecture there as well, but I lost the passion for that. And I was just doing camera work as a part-time thing because it's only a free, what they call it, a 5/8 post. So it's like a half-day post. So, it's just something to keep you busy. And then I always like to do something else, otherwise I get bored or frustrated. I've got that. I can't stick on one thing for too long, and then I feel I need to do something else as well. So I actually went and filmed for a maker here in my city in Port Elizabeth, Taste Meats. I'm sure some people must know about him. He does incredible work. Probably
What did you say
still, I
that name
rate
was,
one
my
of the
friend?
best knife makers in the world. Tice Mead. So it will be THYS and Meads, MEADES. He's got he's still basically full-time custom maker. He's done, I think, a collab with We on one of his models and stuff. So I basically rocked up there to film. He wanted to do like a little video series for YouTube, to kind of just put his stuff out there, make people more aware. And then I said, okay, obviously I want to film him working and stuff, but I always was interested in knives. I mean, I grew up around it, was hunting from the age of 6, kind of thing. So outdoor was my style, fishing, and always having knives, always had a love for them, always doing them. But that was almost like where it started. I could learn from someone. So I basically just kept on going back with the camera to, kind of film, but I was more stealing with my eyes how to learn. And he said later on, listen, I'll show you the stuff. So I just basically started working. And then when things really changed is when he ordered a CNC machine for him to cut basic blanks or to mark out liners on the 304 steel, which can be a monster to cut sometimes with a bandsaw. It's incredible hard steel at work gardens as well. So it's a real nasty steel. I don't think you get it a lot in the States. You guys will work more with 316 or the 400 series of stainless, but it's a terrible steel. You don't really want to work with it actually, but that makes a great liner. And then I helped him to put a CNC machine together. And then obviously I was like, okay, how does it work? So started getting into learning how to machine from him, basic stuff, saw in Fusion. And at that stage, I also decided to enroll again in studying. Always me trying to do something different. And I chose to do mechanical engineering, which is so different because I come from the arts department at the university, and they were like, "What's going on?" And then we were in, I think it was one of the design classes, and it just clicked to me. This is what I want to do, kind of thing. So I just started drawing knives. From there, made a few of the designs. I think I always want to do designs Stay still makes. And I've worked with a few other custom makers here in SA as well, done a design or two for them. You won't see my name. I didn't want my name out there on any of the stuff. I still won't tell you who it is for. And then the Kaiser XU competition started. And I decided to enter, give it a whirl, and made it to the finals for like 2 or 3 times. That was one of the designs that Warrock I sent in. And what actually happened is, in the beginning, I think it was still the communication thing. So I think it was the second Kaiser competition XU. So in the first 2 competitions, say they would send you the actual step file or design file, DXF file or whatever when you entered. You had to say, I want to do it. They'd send you the files. And they said they wanted something like a cleaver blade. The sheepdog DXF file, learn from there. So obviously you can see a bit of inspiration from there. Obviously there's changes, but that's the file I worked on, and then came up with the win. And then Aldo van Tonder was around, I think it was 2 years ago. I'm not exactly sure. And it was like a Father's Day competition where you could submit designs, and then he immediately chose that design and went to production. And then it was the artisan. Yeah, right after that, the artisan design competition came up, and that's why I sent the Clio in, and I won that competition. And from there on, I almost did it that you like just win one on. Basically, I saw this international stage because anybody could enter, and it just gave me the confidence. And then I just started sending whoever's email I could find, so the company start sending designs. Some would just bat you in the beginning, nothing was going to happen. And I just said, what's the worst? I like to draw with designs, send it out to people. You never know what they say. If they don't like it, it's just someone you can chat to. And what was nice is Kaiser always gave feedback on the design. Even if they take it, they say, we like it, but we don't like this kind of thing, just to kind of get you helping. And then one day out of the blue, I think I got an email from them that said, listen, they want to give me a contract, and when that came through, I saw 4 emails came through, and I was like very confused. I thought it was the same email they sent, and it was 4 different contracts from them on one day. And then from there, it just
That's
went
awesome.
ballistic. I sent out to QB. I think with QB, I'm up to 7 designs or something. So there's another 4 coming. There's one I'm very, very excited with about them. Totally different than my other stuff. More, I would say, almost fancy, but not out of there, but different. Very fancy machining on the handle. So that will be a KB one, a very nice one.
Ooh,
I don't know when it's coming. I must actually speak to Andy. So
their
that's
KB
nice.
line is
And
so
then, like I say,
gorgeous.
it's artisan. Yes, they do incredible work where they put more, effort into it. So there is 1 or 2 KBs coming, and then that, and from then, like I said, I just kept sending. The Heron that then actually stuck with concept. There's another one that they actually took before this design. It is still coming out. I must ask, I think Emily on next week what's happening there. But they liked this design. I actually sent them 4 designs, and they said, listen, they can't take so many, but they want. So they asked which one I would like to do myself, because they offered me a thing of having a brand under my own name, and they would assist me. I said, well, I would like to do the Gurkha, but unfortunately, at the same time, QB picked up those designs, and they still took the 10 of the Heron win. So the Heron is out. But there is another one coming with them fairly soon, much bigger knife. I saw someone ask for bigger sizes. It just happened to be that some of my designs that came out first were some of the smaller ones I designed. They don't come in chronological order as you design. It doesn't.
Yeah.
They'll say, listen, when you produce it in so and so time.
No, yes. Go ahead.
Oh no! So it just came out, but the larger stuff there is quite larger stuff. I think there's a 4-inch blade coming out.
Woo! That's gonna make people happy. I do want to say real quick, huge shout out to Cicero. Says, holy crap, it's Johan, member of Kripple Krew Inc. for 13 months. That gets a double flag salute. And we will do the Heron as an acoustic salute by the mic. Very snappy little knife. Thank you, or not little, very snappy knife. Thank you for your support, Cicero. I really appreciate it. And also, Matt Conklin, member of Kripple Krew Inc. for 3 months, says, stay deadly, DSKFS. Much love, brother. How about a DBD Glideman salute? And then it looks like there might be one more we got to check real quick. We have Garrett. Oh, no. Member of Kripple Krew Inc. for 15 months. My brother from a South African mother says that guy has a funny accent. He needs to come fish. Gareth, you are going to get a war.
Me and Gareth. Yeah, sorry. Me and Gareth talked a lot about fishing. That's one of my passions, and he enjoys it as well. So he said every time I'm in the Durban area, I must pull in and we'll go. So I'm still keen just to head up to Durban to go fish there a bit.
Hell yeah, that would be dope. I know he sent some video from a recent fishing trip where there was some kitty cat eyes watching them in the dark. They had a leopard watching them while they were fishing.
No, there's some spots that's still wild in South Africa that people go and fish. You get big fish there, but you must watch out. I know there's one place I want to go. Excellent for tiger fishing and stuff, but the river is infested with crocodiles and hippo as well. So you must kind of know your story. So while you fish, you must keep an eye out. You almost need a second pair of eyes just to look out for the dangers that's around you.
Yeah, I know he's been doing a lot of it lately, a lot of fishing, and I definitely it looks like it'd be fun to go out there. We were talking with he was visiting Mervyn the other day, and we were talking, and it was like, well, it would be awesome to set up a trip to come to South Africa where you travel around and meet different knife makers and knife designers while also doing fishing and hunting and such on the trip. Like get a
Oh, that
real proper South
sounds
African.
amazing. You start in, yeah, you like start in Cape Town, work your way around the coast up to Durban, and then back to the inland. There's some amazing makers you could meet along the way, and like you say, hunting, fishing, outdoor activities. Yeah, that's the one thing I still enjoy about South Africa is the outdoor life that's here. It's just amazing.
Yeah, it does look amazing. Thomas, blessed EDC, member Kripple Crew Inc. for 3 months, says it's an honor to meet you, Johan. Stay blessed, Krew. How about an acoustic salute with my new knife day score? This is a grail that just came in last night on a trade with big homie Jake. Here it is by the mic. My first Yo Jimbo, Blade HQ exclusive in M4, and I am in love. Thank you for the support, blessed EDC. Aries EDC, what's up, brother? Good to see you. Now you got everybody talking about fishing. I saw my brother Mud is about to bounce out and go fishing today. He just got his license again.
I was never that big into fishing, I was always hunting or shooting pistols competitively and stuff. But sports shooting these days it's very expensive. So mother-in-law and father-in-law has a little place here, not far from us, like a little river house, in like a nature reserve. So it's perfect. There's like wild antelope and still walking around you in the area, and the fishing you can do there in that river is insane. The stuff you catch there is just, and it just bit me. And now it's all I want to go do if I don't design knives is just get have a line in the water.
That's awesome. Great way to relax too.
Oh, definitely.
Rachel Jordan, member Kripple Crew Inc. for 3 months, says where the cool kids play. Kripple Crew. Appreciate your support, sis. You know I do. And you know what? I should have done this for Matt, but I'll do it for you instead. For your acoustic salute, I will use the Microtech UTX 85 that you and Matt gifted to me. By the mic. Heck yeah. Really appreciate your support, sis. Love M4, especially Spyderco M4. Yay, yay. Which company? I mean, I know you right now you have the most designs coming with Kaiser, but which one has been like the best or the easy? I'm not trying to get you to buzz toss anybody, but which one has been the easiest one to work with for you?
Oh, yeah, that's difficult to say. I think the major thing was in the beginning communication between certain companies, and some of them just had better reps. I can say it's been very easy to basically work with all of them. I still enjoy working with Kaiser a lot. It's just, I think they've got a bigger team than any of the other companies I work with. So answering emails and stuff is much more responsive. You get feedback quicker. But I wouldn't say it's easier or harder to work with a certain company. It's just where one you might have to wait a bit while longer for email return. Obviously, different time zones, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, Kaiser is still one of the big companies I work with. But I like to work with all of them. Honestly, I can't say I've had a negative experience with any of the international companies I've been working with. It might be sometimes a bit longer on a model to drop or something, which I think is natural. Machining, you can't control what's happening and stuff. So yeah, no one is, I wouldn't say anyone's bad. I don't want to say anyone is my favorite because none of them really are. But I do enjoy working with Kaiser just because of how responsive their R&D team is and their project managers.
Gotcha. That's awesome. Is there any company that we should be watching for an upcoming design that hasn't had a Johan design yet?
Oh, I don't think at the moment. I haven't been reaching out to other companies. I think I only started, the only company that reached out to me was GAW. And I didn't want to spread, all over too quickly, try and build a thing, but then you're here, there, everywhere. So I
Sure,
tried to
because right
focus
now
at
you
one
have.
stage just on kind there's 5 companies or so already. So, spreading yourself out too far also, I think it creates a thing of why is this guy jumping around so much in between designers? There's a couple I would love to work with, but I like to design. I'm working on a batch, so I'll design like for this year, I've designed 10. Go back to them so far that I like, and I'll go back and refine them. And once I'm happy, I've about 5 decent designs where I feel, okay, this could work, or there's a chance, then I'll send out. And there's a few other companies I would like to approach. I like what Travisa is doing currently. Some of the new stuff is nice. And then
Who
there's
did you
many.
say?
Travisa,
Oh,
uh,
yes.
Monster would be awesome to work with. There's many. Look, some of them shoot you straight away. We won't even accept your email. We won't talk about weirder people. But yeah, look, I can understand. There's probably hundreds of people emailing with designs and stuff. So they just say no. But other companies are quite open to receiving emails and designs. Just don't send
That's
your full step
awesome.
file out, people. It might go missing. So you want to design, send a drawing file out, like but leave the dimensions out. Don't set your step files out. You're gonna get burned somewhere.
Um, are there any upcoming designs that you can share any sneak peeks of, either a prototype that you might have in hand or a picture that I can share on Instagram?
Unfortunately, not. They in the beginning you could, but they all the new contracts have an NDA in, so you can't. I can't show stuff before they've officially announced it. So there's nothing
It,
I'm allowed to show. Um, I know Kaiser is going to drop a few this year. I can't tell you when, but I haven't received the updated production schedule after March yet. But I think there should be another 2 or 3, maybe in 4 of them this year, and I expect another one with concept very soon, artisan very soon, and then maybe 2 or 3 more with QB this year as well. So there
that's
should be another
exciting.
10 or so dropping this year.
That's exciting. I do want to, real quick, while I'm thinking about it, folks, let's give away a few memberships and let more people enter for that membership giveaway in a bit for the Tenable Tipper ATB2. Albert, we got NFK20, Mike Jernak, and Kevin Santer. Welcome to Kripple Crow Inc. And now you folks, make sure that you go to the pinned comment and enter the members giveaway. The members giveaway that we will draw in a bit is for the Tenable Tipper in Damascus and PEI. And then we also have our general giveaway that we are doing later on in the stream of Johan Jordaan's Tenable Heron. Such a wicked design. And we'll be giving this away later too. Make sure that you have entered both of those giveaways. Also, I want to pop up a poll. There we go. We're gonna pop up a poll for a minute. I want to see which brand has which brand has your favorite Johan Jordaan design so far. Is it Pickled Steel with the Warhog? Is it Kaiser with the Shrike, Parakeet, Quakin, Phasmids, the Retro, the Warning, and the Allure? Is it Kubi with the Gurkha DO and TEO or TBO crossbar? Or is it Tenable or Artisan? Who has your favorite Johan Jordaan design? And while that poll is up, I do want to share the screen for a minute Oh, I can. Sheila has been posting the members giveaway link, folks. If I messed that one up, that's my fault. It's also in the description of the live stream. I want to show, starting off, some of the designs. This is the one that the Allure is one that he says he carries quite a bit. And this is, man, that one right there, that's a gorgeous version. But I really like what they're doing with the Norplex, Ultrex, Micarta, though, as well. But we've got that and the Shrike, both in S45VN. And look at this Shrike specifically. Oh, that is one sexy knife, homie. I love that bolster lock. You got the front flipper, thumb stud, blade hole. That looks so good. I have not been able to check that one out yet, but I have heard a lot of people say they really like that design.
Yeah, that's one of my still favorite in terms of look. I like that sleek but yet aggressive small look on a knife. That's for me still one of my favorites.
This is another one that folks really like, the Retro. That's a nice full-size knife. The Parakeet.
If people like the Retro, keep your eyes open. There might be something happening with that very soon.
Ooh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
With Kubi, we've got the TBO crossbar lock. This is the only Kubi model of yours I haven't checked out yet. The Gurkha and Dio are both sick. This Dio blade shape and the way it points forward is awesome. But having a folding kukri in your pocket is pretty wicked too.
Yeah, that's more a fun knife, you know. It's not your most usable, but it certainly gets a conversation started when you pull that out at a braai or whatever and show with people. It's like, because it's different looking.
Then, of course, with Tenable folks, we've got the Heron. This one here, if Mrs. Deadly sees this purple and black, man, she's going to want a second Heron, I know. And then, of course, the Artisan Clio is still available, folks, and you can get it either with the titanium and S90V like mine, or that beautiful copper. And both under 150. Just fantastic button lock. I love that knife. We've got GAW with the crazy Komodo. The Kaiser Warning.
Yeah, that's the new version.
The new version of the Komodo. Let me go back to it. Oh yeah, that's the G10.
Yeah,
and M390.
And M390. Yeah.
And you can get that right now. If you use code FAPSTERRUN, you're going to save $20 and get that for like $89. That's crazy. That is a great deal, especially for their action. And so that's just the stuff, folks, that we've got showing right now. Whoops. Stop sharing. That we've got showing right now. And then, like he said, he's looking at 10 more designs possibly by the end of the year. That's awesome, brother.
Yeah, it should be around there. Let's say 82.
8 to 10. Yeah. Still yet to have a warning.
But you don't always get through production.
Yeah, stuff that, I mean, especially like you said earlier, getting in their production schedule with all the other models that they have already lined up for the rest of the year. Yeah, when they redrop the warning, I think a lot of what was that? I interrupted, homie.
Yeah, no, sorry, there's a slight delay. Yeah, so there's, it takes about, they usually give about a 6 month production schedule, and they can, like, it will obviously be boring if guys have dropped April and it's just 4 or 5 Johan Jordaans, that would be kind of silly. So they have to spread it out, So yeah, some of the stuff is taking longer, but there's a lot with them coming, which is cool.
That's awesome. I'm updating the giveaway links, folks, for the pinned comment. It looks like I put the wrong link for the members only giveaway. So let me update that. I know Sheila's been doing work getting these links posted for us, but let me fix this so that we can get this updated real quick. So make it easier for people to enter. Tenable tipper members only entry, and let me post this link as well real quick. There we go. Now that's two different links, folks. And pin. All right. So far, it looks like it's a tie between the Pickled Steel Warhog and Kaiser. But come on, folks, let's get those votes in. Which of the companies has your favorite Johan design? FC Toys asking, do you prefer LMAX or M390?
It's very difficult. It depends from which company. They all treat it a bit different. Personally, to work with myself, I love LMAX. Very easy to heat treat. The heat treat per protocol is basically the same as N690. So it's a much easier steel, and hand dropping 60 Rockwell LMAX is a lot more enjoyable than rubbing M390 at around 63. That's no fun. That can break a man's soul. So if it was from Spyderco, I would probably go with LMAX because with M390 because it keeps an incredible edge. But overall, I've got a soft spot for LMAX.
That's awesome. I know that we are planning on using LMAX for the premium Glideman collab. The titanium and carbon fiber button frame lock Glideman is going to be LMAX.
That would be very nice. M390, LMAX got a bad rap because a certain company he treated them correctly, and when they ground them, they basically burned through their temper. So the edge wouldn't last on them. After about 4 or 5 proper sharpenings, it was fine because the temper wasn't burned through where it was a bit thicker on the blade. But and then suddenly people hated LMAX. But it was actually such a good steel but got a bad name because the company didn't do it properly. But now it's coming back, and people are realizing what a good steel it is.
Yeah, it's a great all-around steel. Like before Magna Cut, LMAX was one of the better all-around steels, and it just gives you so many good properties. But like you said, we don't see a ton of it anymore, and that's another one of the reasons I'm excited to bring it out on the next DVD.
Yeah, the last I spoke to the reps at Bowler is we didn't see LMAX a lot, especially here because it was picked up in the marine environment. They started using the steel a lot. So to produce a steel that was meant for something like that, rather for actual wet cuts and machines and that kind of stuff, there wasn't enough they didn't produce enough for knives to sell off for knives. And now with Vanax out, which is basically surpassed it in terms of marine capabilities, you'll see a lot more LMAX available. And I think that's why you also see the steel a lot more suddenly again.
That makes sense. Yeah, Vanax definitely does surpass it for the marine stuff. Vanax is, pretty much taken over as the number one for that. No, yeah, I can't think of a steel better for it.
It is insane. We still can't. I still can't go down to Bowler and order Vanax because they just say to me, "Listen, there is nothing." And And also in SA, the bowler doesn't bring in, you have to like plates, like proper 2.4 meter by, I think it's a 1.6 or something. So it's a big piece of steel, and you have to take a minimum of 10. So it's a bit of a big order to do for a normal custom guy. I mean, you'll have steel for years and years then. So that's why we don't have Vanex here. I would love to work with it, but like I said, that Marine has taken it, so now Almax is suddenly available for us.
Gotcha. Yeah, a lot of definitely both Elmax and Vanex has a lot of fans in the chat. Vanex is definitely a lot more, even for the companies that do use it. It's definitely more expensive to get than Elmax as well.
Oh, by far, it's crazy expensive. But the science behind it as well, you can understand why it's so expensive. What they achieved actually there is pretty insane if you understand the material science behind it. So I can also understand where the pricing comes from. Just the manufacturing is so much more involved in any of the other steels they do.
Yeah. Besides your designs, are there any blades that you have collected since the last time I saw we talked?
No, unfortunately not. I used to be a big collector. Started productions, then went into customs, especially of the big SA names and stuff, and then made the grown-up decision to have children. So there wasn't money for a long time to buy knives. Essentially, that's part of why I started making as well. I would make a knife, sell it, and then go and buy another knife. But now I feel it's almost like silly for me to say I'm a knife maker or a knife designer. If someone asks what I do for fun and stuff, and then pull out another brand out of my pocket. So I don't carry a lot of other brands. There's stuff I always love. There's fantastic knives out there. I mean, some of the latest stuff I've seen is really nice. What some companies are doing. I really like what Remet is doing lately. So I wouldn't mind checking out. It's that. What's that gravity knife they have? It's like a swordfish or something. You push the button
Yeah,
forward on the side.
Remet, they have the
The blade can just
swordfish and the
slide
sharp
out.
leopard are both two of their gravity knives with the same
Oh,
mechanics.
Yes, I would love to get one of those in hand. I just like how they thought about the gravity knife, how they did it different than other companies and stuff. It's for me a fantastic. If I buy a knife these days, almost for, I would say, research purposes to see what they've done with the lock, or if there's something interesting on it, and that's one of those I would love to get my hands on still.
Sure. Yeah, I have had a chance to review both. The swordfish came out first, really cool knife, and then they dropped the sharp leopard. And on the sharp leopard, they definitely improved their gravity mechanics, and it feels even better. And it really is. I don't own one, but it really is a dope knife. Gareth says you need a Blixen blade.
Yeah,
Well, speaking of Blixen blades, I do want to show the Instagram of when he was talking about getting started in knives, and he was helping a very famous South African knife maker get his stuff shown. It's because the reason it's not showing falling is because this is not in the app. But Mead's Knives, Tice Meads, I don't know if I said that name right, but
yeah.
These are some gorgeous handmade knives.
No, look, that's one thing you can say about Tice. There's a lot of things you can say, but his fit and finish on a knife is second to none. I mean, I've handled a lot, lucky to know people with large collections, international pieces, and so forth. And I would rate his work in the top 10 easily of knife makers worldwide.
Just from what I'm seeing here, absolutely stunning work. Like that's a cool blade. I like that. That's like a compact shilling.
Yeah. I remember when I was still helping out a bit there when he got the commission for that. And then from there on, he started making it because it was such a cool. I think it's called a Nessie or something by him. But that was a cool knife to work with on and to see how it works and kind of stuff.
Man, definitely. Ooh, ooh, definitely gorgeous work. Wow.
Yeah, that fixed blade you showed there just before, I think 2 back, that's actually one of my designs. I was working with him, and I think it was at African Custom Knives or something. They bring in SA makers work, and they were talking about doing a line for them. So we designed 2 or 3 knives. I think they still have it, but that one, I actually still made that a while afterwards as well. But that's also one of my designs.
That's really cool. That's a beautiful blade. Beautiful blade.
Yeah, there's a small little fixed blade,
Just stunning work. I definitely would love to check out one of his knives in the future. Wow.
No, he's perfectionistic, Even his workshop is when you work there, that drill bit must go in exactly back in that spot. My workshop didn't work like that. I kind of like the chaos, but no, he was very, and so his finishing and stuff, it's impeccable. It really is.
Yeah, just absolutely beautiful work, blowing people away for sure. Angelo, welcome to Kripple Krew Inc. I appreciate your support, brother. Make sure that you join the members only giveaway, and I will give you an acoustic salute from my new knife day, Yo Jimbo. And making sure I didn't miss any of those. We got Gareth, we got Bless, we got Rachel. Okay, perfect. I made sure I didn't miss any of those. And now I do see a couple of comments about folks being very intrigued by Magnamax, of course, with everything that's coming out. That's going to be the newest, baddest. Do you have any thoughts on Magnamax?
I've looked at the formulation. Looks very interesting, but I haven't worked with it anything with myself yet. Me treating or grinding on it yet. So I don't know the steel from that perspective. I've only seen specs and reviews, and it looks good, but I don't like to give an opinion on something I haven't handled to work with myself yet. So it looks like the new great steel, but there's always one just around the corner.
Oh yeah, there's always the newest and greatest.
Like knife designs. It seems that in the beginning, yeah, there's always the newest and greatest, and I still fall back to the the tried and tested ones. I'm still a big S45 VN guy. I just feel as an all-rounder for anybody to be able to sharpen with minimalistic tools and stuff. I think it's a fantastic steel and the LMAX. And I do like MagnaCut. I can just tell you, hand sanding MagnaCut, it's no fun. It's ridiculous how hard that stuff is if you treat it proper. Even certain sanding paper we use here, we can get. You almost have to buy a specialized one because even the cubic ones, the ceramic ones, it would clog up so easily. I mean, I think I ran a blade up to 65 Rockwell on it, and it was basically you couldn't hand sand it. It was ridiculous. So I just left it a belt set, and it was. Now I was sanding after 3 hours, and I didn't make a dent on it. So I just said, no, this is not going to happen.
Yeah, it's funny with all the. By the way, Lion Not a Sheep, thank you for your support. Blessed to be a part of the Kripple Krew. Now I'm blessed to have you as part of the Kripple Krew, my friend. Acoustic salute from the SHF. And, with all there's always the newest, greatest, whatever, Magnamax, Pops, Pro Cut, whatever coming around the corner. And it's funny because people start to look down on S30V, S35VN, S45VN, like they're old
Always
and
like that.
outdated. And it's funny because the steels did not get any worse. They're still phenomenal steels, but people will start to look down on them,
No, exactly. It's
especially
like
the
if you
S30 and
were to tell
S35.
someone, that's the thing I was just going to say. If I was to drop a knife under my own name, I would actually specify to be S50, but especially the way Spyderco treats it. S50 was for me the first real steel that I said, okay, this is super. You know, when you use it and you get other stuff. It just had that a more toothy edge, which you can't get on S35 or S45 So it felt to me like it wouldn't be hair whittling sharp for longer, but, you know, working edge sharpness on that stuff was fantastic. And now people don't want to look at S30V. I think it's like old school and stuff. Well, I suppose you can't really get it anymore, but I still love that stuff. It's still also, I've worked with it before. I've ground it, I've heat treated, and I can tell you it's just such a lovely steel to work with. It's a joy.
Yeah, I have a fair amount of S35VN, and it's always been one of one of my favorite steels because it performs so well for what I do. And it is funny to see though, because S45 hasn't been used as much lately. I noticed it when Kaiser, like with some of your designs and other companies are using S45. That is kind of getting people a little excited again. Now, even the people that for some reason kind of aren't excited about S35, they are liking to see S45 come back out.
Yeah, I wonder what will happen with that steel in the future, because Crucible, as far as I know, went a while and went belly up, and I think they sold to a European company, Euro Steel or something. So the names would be changed, as far as I know. So I'm not sure if a large batch of that S45VN that we're suddenly seeing now was like some of the last stocks that the factory sold, and if we will be seeing it a lot down the line still. But a fantastic steel. I mean, for me, there is better edge holding, there is better corrosion resistance, there is better toughness. But trying to combine them into one steel that the average guy can use and sharpen, it's a
can actually work with at home.
Exactly, that's the thing. You get a steel I really love, ZDP 189. I had a Spyderco Dragonfly 2 in it, and I think it was that they called it British Racing Green, those handles. Fantastic steel. But to sharpen that, you couldn't do it. I mean, I still had by then, that was very new in the knife game, proper knives. It was a Lansky sharpening system with old normal stones, and that steel basically laughed at the stones. So you almost then have to have diamond stones to proper sharpen. So it's not, I would say, as user friendly or for your average guy. It's easy for us to this steel, but knives sell to many people all over the world for different usages, and those guys can't use those. It'll be great for them when they get it, but once they can't get it sharp again, they'll say it's the worst steel. So yeah, I like a everyman's blue collar. I still think 154 cm is a great steel, and people these days see it as a budget steel. I still think it's fantastic.
Yeah, we went 154 cm on this collab because of the budget, simple steels. It's one of the ones that I consider the more premium. I like the edge retention better than 14C Nitro V, etc. And so that's why for our budget collab, we did 154. So it looks like I'm going to end the poll there.
No, fantastic steel, and like I said, easy to track.
What was that? Go ahead. Oh, I think he froze for a sec. LMAX is your favorite, then M390, S35VN. Yeah, D2. Oh, that's the ones you have the most of. Got you. I'm going to pull up Garrett's fish while we wait for Johan's internet to catch back up. Oh, wait, I got to be careful what I show here. It's on the Gareth, where, oh, here's the fish. All right. I can only show parts of what Gareth sends. So here is the fish that Gareth won his first fishing competition with.
Oh.
This guy right here. "78 centimeters.
For sure, that's big.
Nice. I'm going to stop that. Yeah, that was his first fishing competition. Have you seen the bamboo micarta on the porcupine? Yeah, that bamboo micarta does look really sick, I think. I really like the Norplex Ultrex micarta as well that we're seeing from companies like Vosteed and Kaiser. And like we see on these right here, these have the Norplex Ultrex micarta. I really like the patterns that they're getting in this stuff. And I think that those look fantastic. Now, I do like that Damascus blade, but personally, I would rather have one of the two micartas with the S45. And that's a beautiful knife. Now, can you show the one that you carry? Because I think that had a different pattern on it. That might have been a prototype, because I think that had a different... Oh, that you've got the blue?
No, the protos I've got, I used to carry them. I've got the blue one. Well, I've got all of them. The protos had a mold pocket clip as well, a mold titanium clip, and they wanted to aim for a certain price bracket on the knife. So that got changed to the normal clip then to match. And I think these backspacers on these are also on the productions were aluminium to save a few costs, but they were also originally titanium. So the ones I've got, the protos, there was a titanium one with like a heartbeat pattern. And then there's the inlay one with CF like this. They might come down the line as a more premium version one. But I carry the blue one. And if I want to be fancy, I carry that Panama rosewood one with the Damascus blade. It's a beautiful knife in hand. It's just, like I say, I'm basically almost at the water when I give a gap, and then I like stainless on me, because otherwise, I fish in the estuary mostly, but it's salt water, so a blade gets ruined very, very quickly.
Yeah, that's a gorgeous blade, that Allure.
Yeah, that was my more, sleek, kind of dressy design I wanted to do, like a 3.5. Often when I design, I start with my designs with blade length. I decide what the size of the blade is going to be, the length, and then I go from there and I just flow. But this one, I knew exactly I wanted a 3.5-inch blade, and it just happened to go from there.
Yeah. I also, well, we were talking about micarta a second ago. I should have showed this one here, because this pattern is gorgeous to me, by the way. I know these sold out instantly, but this is one I'm going to have to pick up when it comes back, because I really like the way that micarta inlay looks. It reminds me of like a Black Dunes or a Marble carbon fiber.
Exactly. It reminds me almost of like a lot of like fat carbon would be, but like if fat carbon made micarta, so I have to say the Norplex stuff is really nice.
Yeah. Folks, make sure you get your entries in, because in less than 30 minutes, we will be doing the giveaway here for the Tenable Heron and the Tenable tipper for the members. And Tack Knives Viper's arriving today from Doobie. That's such a great budget knife. Tack Knives is definitely killing it this year with their budget lineup. I'm going to show you what they've got going this year so far. Ed Durbin, member of Kripple Krew Inc. What it do, my friend? Good to see you. Yeah, let me grab those three real quick. Where did I just put them? Like yesterday, I moved them because I filmed them. Oh, they're all right here, right next to my hand, in easy reach. So in January, Tack Knives dropped the Sun Spear, which is a top liner lock OEM'd by Kunwu. Nice thick blade stock that comes down to a very slicey edge and fantastic top liner action. Those were $63 after discount. In February, they dropped the Mini Marlin, and these were right about $50 after discount. Compound grind with a hollow up front or a double flat grind. Hey, have a great day, Gareth. Need to drive home? All right, love you, brother. Always good to see you, Gareth. And then March, they did a budget version of their unnamed called the Magnificent Beast. This one's OEM'd by Artisan. Just a big, chunky, comfortable liner lock. And then for this month, for April, they dropped the Viper. And the Viper is 59 thousandths blade stock. Insane slicer, over 8 inches with fantastic action for $45. Tack Knives has really been on a tear this year. Which one, Mick? The Sun Spear is Kunwu, but the Magnificent Beast is Artisan, and this one is Tack Ray. Yeah, so when they're talking about Tack Knives right now, he's been on a roll for budget knives, dropping a serious banger every month.
Yeah,
Now,
I've been following him. I really like his design style and stuff.
Yeah, he's got even more fire coming and some beautiful premiums on the way. That crossbar made me think about a question I keep forgetting to ask. What made you think of going so short throw with this crossbar? I've never seen it done like this, but it feels great.
Okay, so the knife this is actually an older knife. Types and different for am I still okay so the lock was a bit different. It was always an access lock, but it gave a few issues. I picked up a lot of lock rock and a few things, and I said to him, look, listen, I want to look at it again. I'm not happy what's going on there. I don't want the knife to carry my name and your name, the company's name, and it will be the first thing people picked up. And then we looked at it, and then I noticed that you don't have to be that far. I mean, the actual lock bar moves very little. So people have been cutting these long slots, but it was never really needed, if you ask me. So it just happened to be slightly smaller on the design, and it worked. And I quite like it. I mean, it's fine. It works functionally exactly the same.
Yeah, The
You've got the
lockup
same
is
position,
solid.
your same distance, your lock around. It looks smaller. Yeah, so on the outside it looks smaller. It's made to look smaller, but it's not really. It's internals. It's basically the same thing.
Gotcha. Yeah, that was one of the first things I noticed about it compared to pretty much all other slots is, how much smaller that slot is. Instead of taking up such a big hole on the handle, it is quite a bit smaller.
Yeah, and you get more or less of that where you like almost see through the knife. I don't always like that look. It looked like a weak point essentially. It's not, but I mean it was like a larger cutout that wasn't needed. I don't understand. I won't design a thing that long again. It's just it doesn't make sense. It's wasted space essentially, or wasted material you cut out.
Makes sense. Yeah, I really dig it. It does feel the same as pulling back any other well done lock bar, because I mean the tension on it's phenomenal, but I like the look of it quite a bit better.
Yeah, it's just a shrunken outside. Just it's for aesthetics mostly. I mean, function wise, it's the same thing. It was just an aesthetic choice, just for look. And it, like you said, it looks different. So you pick it up and you're like, hang on, there's something different to it. So it's another feature that just draws attention to something that's being done. I always look at there's not much you can change or that's new in a knife. It's always a version that's similar in certain ways. So I look at the little small things you can change to improve stuff.
Yeah, that's one of the things that drives me crazy in the knife community is when somebody looks at a design and goes, "Oh man, they just copied such and such." And when you look at it, there's so many differences. You're like, no, you can only do so many shapes of a drop point blade and a handle. You can only do so many sheep's foot blades and a handle. Like, you're going to see similarities with as many knives as come out. There's going to be similarities. You have to find what's different on the blades.
No, it's like where that thing they say if you take I can't remember the exact thing. It's where you take like 100 monkeys and you put in front of time each one in front of them with a computer and you teach them how to type. And in the beginning it will be gibberish, but because it gets repeated and you keep doing it over and over and over, somewhere along the line someone is going to write Shakespeare, and it's just because it just happens, kind of thing. But it grows on other works. There's nothing new in the industry, very few new stuff. One guy that I enjoy that does is Brian Winters from
I was just gonna say,
locks are so different, but he looks at it. He looks at it from
I
an
was just gonna say
engineering
one of the
point,
few
which I
new
love.
things you can find.
different.
Oh, go ahead.
Exactly. No, so I enjoy that. It's the engineering brain that's working there, and looking at what else can I do different. Because shape wise, like you say, form wise, there's only so many ways you can do a dento or whatever blade shape it may be. Even handle shapes, it gets recycled.
Yeah, hands are a certain shape. Handles are going to conform to, there are several different shapes, but there's only so many shapes you can make that are going to be comfortable for the human hand. Yeah,
Exactly.
Numb is doing
So
some
you can't go
awesome stuff.
nuts to design something that looks different because it won't work.
D Sharon Design, another one with some awesome Kaiser knives. What it do, my friend? What it do? Remember Kripple Krew Inc. Good to see you. Brian F. Good to see you. Bluminati F and Ninja. Good to see you. James McCann. What's up, gentlemen? Yeah, Brian Winters is one that I don't know where the ideas come from. Like, he is the only one that can think up some of the stuff that he does. But this is such an amazing knife. This is the newest Factor B4. And this was a DSKFS. I got this from Mr. Mouse. And this thing is it's definitely the wildest knife in my collection, but still so crazy useful. But yeah, when you think of, it is hard to find stuff that's new. What's that, homie?
What I like about his stuff is, his locks and his handles are always a bit more different, but his blades remain useful. It's a very useful blade. So it's not like you went nuts on the blade and now it's a looker, but I mean, it's a poor slicer or cutter. He still goes where it still function. It's not just for...
Yeah, this gets down. This is a full flat grind coming down to a very slicey edge on this DLC Magna Cut. Oh, that sound. That ting is so nice. This launch arm is such a trip. I didn't know if I would like it or not, but it makes it so much fun to launch it or to flick it. Ron Dobbins, member Kripple Krew Inc. What it do, brother? Good to see you. Oh, keep missing your comment. There we go. Ken Faulkner as well. What's up, my man? Johan is my Kaiser concept brother. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I've been following his work as well. Always like to see the new up and coming guys, and yeah, there's some very nice stuff. Some designs I'm actually jealous of. I'm like, why didn't I think of that?
Yeah, the muskrat is one of my favorite EDC fixies that I own. Period. And he's got some other beautiful designs that I really need to get hands on with. That's one thing that has been really cool with the amount of knife companies that we do have today. The opportunity for designers to get their designs made is greater than ever. And it has been awesome the last couple of years seeing folks like you, folks like D. Sharon, my homeboy Aries starting to get his designs produced. It has been really cool watching you guys work as it comes out.
Yeah, we have to give a shout out to Osho Designs as well. He's been doing a lot with Kaiser as well.
Osho been killing it.
Love his
Osho Fosho.
Yes. I actually have a proto of his. Kaiser sent me a wrong knife that was supposed to send me one of my new stuff that's coming out, and somehow it got confused, and I got one of his knives that's still to come out. Very cool piece as well. So no, it made me a fan.
That's awesome. Yeah, Muskrat hands down my most carried production fixie. Yeah, it's of my production fixies. It's my Muskrat and my TRM tag along. They get the carry. Oh, and my Aries Bloom. Those are my 3 most carried production fixies.
Oh, yeah.
I need a Phasmids. I don't have a Phasmids, and I really dig that design.
Oh, yeah. Very, very cool, small little. That was my idea of a neck knife. And my wife does these crazy hikes with her mom. We're like 5 days, and you carry your own backpack and stuff. And I'm like, no, that's not true. And your own food and stuff. So when they want a blade, they want something extremely light. So that was designed essentially for them to do that. A lot of weight off, but just still capable, simple user to do small little tasks I do.
Yeah, I did get to review it, and I liked it a lot. The Quaken was cool, but it's just not my style. Really well made knife, just not my style. But the phasmids, I was bout it on that. Ginger Fisher, welcome to Kripple Krew Inc. or welcome back to Kripple Krew Inc., my friend. Glad to have you back. How about a TRM Bulldog Rev V salute? Yeah, the three that I have been carrying, we're going to close these for a moment, these Johan designs. And the three of the production pixies that get the most time on the belt are the Muskrat, the TRM tag along, this thing, American made, wicked little pixie in Magna Cut, and my Aries EDC Kaiser Bloom or Kubi Bloom. Those would be my three most carried production fixed blades right there. As you can see, I like a smaller fixed blade for my EDC fixed blade. The one on the belt today is an Aries EDC custom. I had him make a pair of knives for my wife and I for our 25th anniversary. And this is the one that I had to make me, is this Bloom Cliff of his. And I always have a fixed blade on me every day, but I prefer the smaller side of EDC pixies. Aries Bloom, Tempest Microburst are close seconds. I only have the Kaiser Quartz for EDC fixed blade. That's a fun one. The Kaiser Quartz is a fun one. Rotate 3 Aries Productions and a T-Kel. Nice. Yes, thank you. Don't forget to enter the giveaways in the pinned comment. Folks, if you have any more questions for Johan, it'd be a great time to ask him. Or if you have any comments for our friend, we're going to be doing the drawings in about 5 minutes. Just got a Kaiser Smolten 3B. That's one that looks really good. Especially the 3B. Now, I know you probably wouldn't carry a whole lot of 3B because it's not corrosion resistant, but
it depends. When I go hunting, I go more inland. Then definitely, when carbon steels are fine. I'm not close to the coast. Then I travel at least 200 miles away from my home to where I start hunting in the area. So then I definitely have a fixed blade on me, and then 3V or 4V is a great steel. There's actually one of my fixed blades coming out that I asked them to do in 3V.
Nice. You got a 3V fixie coming? Hopefully.
Yeah, they should be. There should be. There's a bit more hunting stuff coming out as well. Hunting style. There's a small fixie, and then there's a couple of more hunting orientated ones, and then there's a nice big bad one as well.
Nice. You can't say. I was gonna ask, is the 3V coming from Kaiser, but you can't answer that.
No, I can't say, but I can't say where it's coming from. You know.
Yeah, no, I get it.
No, that's so off. I had, what knife was it? It was a red reach light handle. They did that series folders. Was it the Gracer, I think, or something? Awesome design. And that was 3V, and that's why I started to love that steel. It was coated, so I, thought, well, what the hell, give it a go. And it's actually a very nice steel.
Mick Ranger likes the sound of Big and Bad Pixie. And B Shady has a gargoyle made by homeboy Aries EDC that has mammoth molar. He was just talking about that custom. Have you worked on any fixed blades lately, like custom fixed blades, not production? Have you been able to put much time into that at all?
Not recently, but I have been back in the shop for the past week or so. So there is stuff that's been lying there for ages. So there's a couple of stuff coming out, getting finished now. I basically work with stainless and synthetic materials mostly when I do custom. So I think almost all of them are Magna Cut they'll be M390 and Magna Cuts, and then fat carbon handles on most of them. But yeah, there's a
Nice.
couple. There's one I'm excited for. It's a fixed blade version of a traditional Lanny's slip joint.
Nice.
The Tony Post design. I still love that design. So it's a little thing I'm making for myself, and then I've made my own carbon fiber that I want to put on a knife as well. So it's like a side cut CF, so it's on the side, but it's got a G10 pinstripes in it that I've put in myself as well. So it's like a fancy, like a pinstripe suit kind of thing. I'm going for. So I'll share that as well. I'll show you that material when I'm done with that on that knife.
Yeah, I'll love to see that. Man, it would be really awesome to get a custom Magna Cut and carbon fiber phasmid. That would be dope.
That would be nice. I still hope it comes a more premium phasmid. Otherwise, I think I've still got some CF that actually comes from Boeing in a workshop lying there. Very high quality carbon fiber. I mean, that's insane stuff to work with. And I wouldn't mind making a pair of scales for one of my phasmids out of that stuff.
How much would it cost? I'm going to ask Blake Groundhog's question in just a minute, but how much roughly do you think it would cost for, say, a custom phasmid from you with Magna Cut and carbon fiber? Not including shipping to the US. We know that's going to be its own rigmarole.
Yeah, that's going to be a thing. Phasmid, for instance, I won't be able to make because when you sign with the rights over for the design, you are basically saying, listen, they've got the rights to produce it, so you can't really do it. I'm not sure how it is with everyone. I've got two other models I still make. It's called the Pocket Donkey, and then the Tsuku, which is Japanese for stabbing. But my prices are always reasonable. I think even with Magna Cut, it would be like below $200, but shipping would kill you.
Shipping's probably going to be another $100.
Yeah, the last time, and that was more than a year ago, I sent something. It was like $60 already to send one small fixed blade. So yeah, no, that's it. It's shipping's become nuts now. We all know with the oil price and stuff. We are getting gouged badly in South Africa. I don't know what the situation is there by you guys, but I mean, fuel pricing and stuff has gone through the roof. So everything just went. The couriers almost doubled their price overnight just to send locally. So I don't know what it's going to cost to send to the States.
Sure, but less than 200 for a custom fixie is pretty damn good. And do you do your own Kydex sheets?
Look, that's what I feel. Kydex sheets, all of them. I don't do my own Kydex. I've got a guy. I think he's the wizard of Kydex in South Africa. That does my Kydex for me. It's awesome. Just easier because he specializes in it. He does whole and stuff. So for me to fiddle and do a project, and I felt I could probably match his quality, but what he charges me in turnaround time, I was like, I couldn't be bothered. I'd rather grind another knife instead of making a sheath. Once you've started working with leather, then sheath work actually killed me. So I just outsourced that. But yeah, all the knives will always come with like a Kydex sheath and then a soft loop and possibly a J-clip as well. So you've got to change how you want to carry it. I like soft loops because I can scout carry, horizontal, whatever I want to, but there's always a J-clip as well included.
Groundhog had a question, and folks, after this question, I am going to do first the members only giveaway. So make sure that if you are a member of Kripple Krew Inc., you've got in on that members only giveaway. We are drawing that one first. If you're not a member of Kripple Krew Inc., it only costs a couple of bucks a month. You get access to extra content and extra giveaways. But Groundfog would like to know, what blade profiles and bevels do you like for processing game with a thick hide?
Hide is terrible on a steel. Even your best steels go blunt quickly. So I personally like a hollow grind on a knife that I'm gonna, the basic dressing of the game. I often use different ones. Field dressing. It will be a hollow ground, and then most of the time a drop point, or more like a skinner kind of with a bit of belly. It depends.
Yeah.
Where I am hunting. Am I totally alone? I like those kind of hunts. Me and my father used to do it where we'd go into like rough terrain, stay there for 3 nights, no electricity. It's basically what you've got with you in your tent and stuff. And that I always enjoyed. And for those, I would always choose a drop point with a hollow ground. It just worked for me for whatever I wanted to work with. From skinning kudu, villabeers, all those down. I've never had an issue with that.
Makes sense. Folks, I'm going to share the screen for a minute while we run our members only giveaway. And then next is going to be the regular giveaway. So if you've not entered to win the Tenable Heron by Johan Jordaan, get your entries in. I'm going to share this, and here's the members only. We're going to refresh this screen. We are going to, come on. We're going to take that link. I'm going to pop up another tab. There we go. We will share this tab. Here's the link. Maybe. There we go. Filtered dupes. One winner. We will do 7 seconds. And let's get comments. Oop. 10. I thought it said 9 plus 9, which is 18, but whatever. Maybe I read it wrong. All right. Oh, I didn't make the video. I got to make it unlisted real quick, and then we can do this. So we're going to share this screen one more time. I'm going to grab this link now that it has refreshed. Now we'll go back here, share this tab instead, close the stupid pop-ups. You got to love the free comment picker. We will. And come back down here. Try again. There we go. Now, let's. Okay. Oh, they put it way down here. Here we go. For the Tenable Tipper going to a member of Kripple Krew Inc. The winner is Thomas Gay. Nope. It wasn't done. Corey C. I can't believe I won, he said. Thank you, DVD. Well, you did win. Congrats, Corey C. I did see you here earlier. I don't know if you're still here, but as a member, you don't have to be here. Right now, I will get a hold of you. But congrats to Corey C. for the tip. Oh, you are here. What's up, homie? Congratulations, man. Make sure that you hit me up on Instagram at EDC with DBD with your shipping information and a screenshot of your YouTube, just so I know it's you, homie. You do have Instagram, correct, Corey? If not, I can give you my email, but I prefer you to get a hold of me on Instagram. Yeah, I did. It looked like it was Thomas for a second, the way it slowed down on him. But nope, it was Corey C. And now we are going to give away a Johan Jordaan designed Tenable Heron. The compact and so useful, inspired, it's obviously not a copy, inspired by the Mannix 2, but so compact and yet usable for all kinds of hand sizes. This really is an awesome design, my friend, and one that, like I said earlier, I didn't think I was going to like as much as I did because I didn't think it would fit my hands, and yet so dang comfortable. If you don't have Instagram, homie, my email is my handle at Gmail. So edcwithdvd@gmail.com. And you can contact me on Gmail. Send me the same information, your shipping info and a screenshot of your YouTube account. Still a handful for terriers my size, says Sean McDonald. Yeah, this thing, it fits Mrs. Deadly's hand and my hand. It's rather surprising for the size, how comfortable it is. And now we are going to give that away. So I'm going to share the screen one more time. We'll refresh again in case there's new entries. And we will grab that link, pop over here, refresh. And paste that new link, filter dupes. We're going to go a 10-second wheel of names. That's what we'll do. We'll go some, get comments. Maybe. 65. All right. Pretty decent odds, folks. And here we go. We're going to drop this. So many pop-ups on this site. I really should have. I need to put up ad blocker. But here we go. Somebody is about to win this Tenable Heron, but you got to be here. And our winner is David Giudici. David Giudici, you are our winner. You still here, my man? I'm guessing you're still here. There we go. All right. You have won the Tenable Heron by big homie Johan Jordaan. That's awesome. Congratulations, my man. Make sure you hit me up on Instagram with your shipping information. But you're going to take home this wicked cool Tenable Heron by Johan Jordaan. Johan, is there anything that you would like to add for the Kripple crew?
No, just thank you for inviting me back on the show. It's always nice to have a proper knife chat, especially with you. I know we Instagram every now and then, but it's nice to have sit down and stuff. And yeah, I really enjoy it. So hopefully I'll see you back one day again.
Heck yeah, we will definitely do it again. But we won't wait as long this next time. But I know by the next time we talk, there's going to be a whole bunch more models dropped, and I'm excited for that. I do have one more question. Are you going to Blade Show this year?
I wanted to badly, but plane tickets with the war there just got insane. So it shot out of my budget. So I'm planning now for next year.
Okay,
And
that
the
makes sense because
idea
I
is
know
then
we
for me to
had
come
talked
up
about
with
it
a few.
before.
Yeah, my plans were, and two of my knife buddies to come, but it just fell through. I mean, plane tickets doubled for us. So to fly to the States alone would cost me like $4,000 or something like that. So it's a bit wild at the moment to do that. Definitely planning for next year, and I'll bring a few fixies along then as well to have on the
Hell
table.
yeah. Hell yeah. I want to see some custom fixies. I'm going this year, but I'm going to be there next year as well. So we will definitely have to get together.
No,
The
definitely
Cripple
we'll have
Crew.
to catch up.
Yes. The Cripple Crew is definitely thanking you for your time today. I always appreciate you hanging out with us, my friend. It's always fun to catch up and see what's going on. And I'm here for it. Wishing you the best of luck and looking forward to the new drops, my friend.
No, thank you so much.
All right, Cripple Crew, we're going to wind this one down. I appreciate all of you spending time with us, dropping your comments for big homie Johan. And you know, we will do it again with my friend. And until next time, Cripple Crew, make sure you check the Knife Tube schedule for all of the live streams like Ron Crow later today. We got G-Ball, we got Loot Tentex, we got Saturday Night Live, Napaholics. Tomorrow you got Gareth, Barbie, Aries, so many dope lives. Make sure you check out Knife Tube schedule. Much love to the Cripple Crew and my EDC familia. Stay safe, stay frosty, and most importantly, Cripple Crew, stay freaking deadly.